Hello folks, I've been promising this video for over a week now, so I thought it was probably about time we got stuck into the meat of who I'm going to be managing in Non-League to Legend in Football Manager 2018. And as I mentioned in the previous preview video, goodness me, am I milking these previews this year. This time last year, the beta was out today. That's, if anyone's wondering why I'm milking preview videos, that's why. Sheesh. So, there's two options that I've got for the team that I'm going to manage. If we do it on the traditional Non-League to Legend basis of nearest to my house. And you couldn't make this up. And in fact, I've had to crop these Google Maps images down massively because the only way they're dead equal is if I put my actual postcode in. If I put the town I live in, then there is a difference. But if we do it directly from my postcode to Alfreton, which is option 1, it's 69.5 miles. Or my actual house, my front door, to Nuneaton, option 2, 69.5 miles. It does look like I mean, this is an important consideration, and we are going to get into this. There's going to be an opportunity for you to vote on these two clubs shortly, but can I present my arguments first? Because I don't want you to just vote based on willy-nilly nonsense. We need to consider all of the relevant information before making an informed decision. So although they're both 69.5 miles away, it looks like we have better roads getting us to Nuneaton. For those of you taking notes, we'll go out to Stamford, and then we'll come down the A47 to Kettering, then across the A14 to Coventry, before jumping up to Nuneaton. Going to Alfreton, although it's still the same 69.5 miles, it does take 8 minutes longer, and I know from experience this route is a bit of a pain in the backside because all the way along here is single carriageways where you get stuck behind tractors, and then you hit the A1 at Colsterworth up to Grantham, and then across to some mysterious unmentioned place halfway towards Nottingham, and then up more windy little country roads to get all the way to Alfreton. So although they're the same distance, Alfreton is a more challenging journey, although apparently only takes 8 minutes longer, which I find hard to believe, unless of course we've got traffic jams on the A14 M6, which is quite a common occurrence. So a little bit of background on the two clubs to help you make an informed decision about which one you think I should be starting with. So Nuneaton Town FC, if we start off with them first of all. See, I've done research and everything. This has taken me like 8 or 9 minutes to get this video set up. So Nuneaton Town FC, they finished 12th in the National League North last year, and they're currently sat 17th in that same division right now this season. This version of the club, Nuneaton Town Football Club, were founded in 2008 from the remnants of the club formerly known as Nuneaton Borough, who I think I've seen play against Boston many years ago. Like, I think I remember it was the 1st of January 2002. And it was called off at half-time. Again, if you're taking notes, that's sort of trivia that should be on my Wikipedia page, which I don't have yet. But they were Nuneaton Borough between 1937 and 2008. Previous to that, they were Nuneaton Town, just like they are now, amongst other names. There was a few different combinations of name, but the most common one seems to have been Nuneaton Town since they were formed in 1889, which makes them pretty old, all the way through to becoming Nuneaton Borough in 1937. So officially third incarnation of the club, but there were several versions of that early Nuneaton Town. And their nickname is the Borough, presumably as a hangover from being called Nuneaton Borough previously. As a Peterborough fan, I don't know how I feel about managing a club that call themselves Borough. It would be like that pesky Middlesbrough and Scarborough. None of these clubs should be allowed to lay claim to Borough. That is, even though we call ourselves posh, so never mind. They play in a blue home kit, which scores them, that is good points. Posh play in blue. I approve of blue home kits. And a white away kit. That's fine. Their ground, Liberty Way, has a capacity of 4,614, with 514 of those being seats. So not much seating capacity. I mean, it's a decent sized ground for the Conference North. Obviously, if we stuck with them a little while, which you know we probably won't do, we'll move on as soon as a League 2 club offers us a job. But if we were to stick with them a little while, that ground isn't going to take them much beyond lower League 2 probably. And they were relegated from the National League in 2015, so they've been slumming it down in National League North for a couple of years, very much in decline after bursting back up through the leagues from 2008 to get to the giddy heights of the National League. They've kind of been in decline since relegation and now find themselves trapped in the bottom half of National League North. a lot of that is quite similar to the story at Alfreton Town. It is quite surprising just how similar the backgrounds to the two clubs are. Alfreton found themselves in 18th place in the National League North last season and are currently in 15th. So they finished slightly lower than Nuneaton last year, but are slightly higher than them so far this year. They were founded in 1958, just the one version of the club. Although their badge, I've just noticed, says 1959. But Wikipedia says 1958. I'm more inclined to believe Wikipedia than the club themselves in this instance. Unless, of course, they want to get in touch with me and correct me. More on that in a minute. Their nickname is the Reds. Equally unimaginative as Nuneaton's was. And they play in a red home kit and a blue away kit. Which, I mean, if football kits were all correct, that's how the world would be. Every club. I think this is the Danny Baker system. Every club should have one red kit, one blue kit. And none of this other messing around with colours, because then you don't have clashes and stuff, and it's just simple and easy. Red kit, blue kit, and a green kit for goalkeepers. The world would be so much easier. So Alfreton have definitely got that right. Their ground is slightly smaller than Nuneaton's. North Street has a capacity of 3,600, but they do have 3 times as many seats with 1,500 seats. And just like Nuneaton, they were relegated from the National League in 2015. So they came down together, and they've had a similar story of struggle in National League North together. So as you can see from the background of the two clubs, there's really not a lot to separate them, and I genuinely don't know which one I want to go for. They're very, very similar. It's impossible to split them. So I'm emailing the clubs. This email I'll hit send on just as soon as I get this video onto YouTube, because I'm going to put the video into the email. But allow me to read you the email that I'm sending to both football clubs. So I'm sending it to, these are the emails I found on their website. So to both Alfreton and Nuneaton, they're going to get this email. They're going to get a link to this video. And I'm basically inviting them to tell me why they're better than the other one. They might respond. It might be a bit of fun. So, hi, my name is Kev and I'm a Football Manager YouTuber. Do the no, we don't have the sparkle thing. No, I'm currently trying to pick a team to manager. Goodness me, I'm glad I haven't already sent this. Right, mental note, change that. I'm currently trying to pick a team to manager on my channel for the upcoming Football Manager 2018 game, and I've narrowed down my shortlist to Alfreton Town or Nuneaton Town. If you are watching from Nuneaton, Alfreton are first because they're alphabetically first. If you notice, I did talk about you first. I'm trying to make it even and fair. This will be the 3rd year in a row I've been producing a series of this kind, previously starting my journey with Boston United in 2015 and Gainsborough Trinity last year. If you are new to the channel and haven't watched those series yet, the link's down below. Again, this is all about shiny teeth and thumbs ups. The videos in these 2 series have close to 3 million views on my channels in the last 2 years. Here's a link to the channel so you can have a look for yourself. The reason for the email is I'd love to give your clubs the opportunity to persuade me to manage you. Again, typos. Goodness me, Kev, you knew you were making a video on this. It'll just be a bit of light-hearted. It'll just be a light-hearted bit of fun. That sentence does make sense. I just can't read. Which you can obviously completely ignore. Please don't. If it's not something your club is interested in. But I think the selection process could make for quite a fun video. Like this one. And add a little bit of extra realism. Again, goodness me, proofread your work. You used to be a teacher. To the series. I'm quite happy to travel to both clubs to meet you if you prefer. More than happy. I'd love to do that. That would be amazing. Or, if you're boring, you could just send me a list of reasons why your club is great by replying to this email. What I really want is for you to invite me to come down to the club, give me a tour, let me in the changing rooms, give me a replica shirt and a manager's coat, and let me film all my episodes from the manager's desk. Somewhere in between those two will probably be fine though. We'll work something out. To give you a taste for the tone of the series, etc., I've also included a link to a video I'm publishing on my channel today talking about the club selection process, including this email. That's this video. So this is, I mean, we're getting very meta here. I'm showing you the email that talks about this video, and it's, oh, layers. It's like a Russian doll of YouTube-ness. I look forward to hearing back from you, Kevin Chapman, lollujo. So, hopefully, the clubs will get back to me. If either of them do or both of them do, you can bet there will be another video letting you know exactly what they said. If it's anything like the last time I emailed clubs, though, they'll probably completely ignore me. Southend, pink shirt. So, over to you. You don't need to make a final decision right now, but if you are, or if you already have a preference, there is a poll up there, I think. that you can vote on now to let me know whether you'd prefer Alfreton or Nuneaton. Remember, this is Non-League to Legend. If you're not sure what Non-League to Legend is, I made a video about that about a week ago. This isn't a team I'm going to take all the way to Champions League glory, because I couldn't if I wanted to. This is where I'm going to start my Non-League to Legend story for 2018, and we'll see where we end up. There's a fly. So, vote in the poll. Let me know down in the comments what your preference would be, and some reasons why would be great. You can do that down in the comments or by tweeting at me at lollujo. And also, once you've had your vote and you've told me who I should manage, let me know who you're going to be managing FM18. Loads of you have already done that on the previous video. I like reading it. Let me know if you've made a decision. The Non-League to Legend series itself is going to start here on this channel 4 PM on Monday the 13th of November, so a couple of days after the full game releases. We've got to do our beta save with Monaco before we get onto that. But we've got a little bit of time to make this decision, but I want you guys to have your input. I want the clubs to have their input, and I'm having final say, but at the moment I genuinely have no preference. That I'm completely down the middle, and I'm looking for something to sway me, whether it's an avalanche of a poll result, or one of the two clubs being absolute legends and doing something really cool, or I don't know, one person giving me one really good reason why one's better than the other. Anything could sway me, and it will have a massive impact on how this year's Non-League to Legend turns out. So, if you have enjoyed that video, or even if you're just looking forward to FM18 and Non-League to Legend 2018, please make sure you give this video a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the new series when it starts. And thank you very much for watching.